Hi, this is Jason from Biblical Cinematic Universe, and today we're not talking about the film Jesus Christ Superstar, 1970. We're talking about the documentary film Superstars, the documentary Ted Neely movie that was like 2015, and then extended edition 2020. And I watched it on Tubi yesterday. And so it basically is a documentary that's basically shows a little bit of this behind the scenes footage of making the movie. They have interviews with director Norman Jewison from that actual time period, and then the bulk of the movie is the reunion of all these actors coming after several decades to rewatch the movie with a live audience and then answer questions. And so that's what I'm kind of reviewing today. So, first of all, quickly, obviously, the Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice wrote and created Jesus Christ Superstar as a concept album first, and then became a play, and then, of course, it became this movie directed by Norman Jewison. And this is a fantastic movie, by the way. But as for the documentary itself, what I liked about the documentary was just seeing all these people who worked together and then several decades later meeting and reflecting on their adventures making the movie and how personal it meant to them, what it meant to them personally, as well as to fans. And it does talk about that connection between fans of any genre, whether it be musicals, comics, movies, or etc., and how these fans have really had life-changing experiences because of the musical. And so I thought it is a really enjoyable uh, reunion type movie. I would say that this is for now the way I review movies, especially something like this was a documentary. I'm reviewing it with the idea of like trying to give you enough nuggets of information so you'll know, do I want to watch this myself? And I would say if you are a fan of Jesus Christ Superstar, you will enjoy this. I would just make that caveat that they don't get a chance to do a lot of the singing of the songs of Jesus Christ from Jesus Christ Superstar, maybe copyright reasons, and instead they just focus on the interviews themselves. So that brings it down from like a 7 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10 for me. But 6 out of 10 from it is a sense of like, yes, if you love Jesus Christ Superstar and you want to find out more about the making of the film, this is enjoyable. There is a tribute to Carl Anderson as well, who played Judas in this. And there is a tribute to the other actor who played Pontius Pilate, Barry Denham. He had passed away after the original making of this movie, and then they added like a post thing with him. And yeah, and so it kind of breaking down into sections about talking about the making of the movie, and then also the reunion with the director, and then the reunion of the cast, and then finally showing this to audiences in New York City and reflecting on their stories. So giving you like one quick story. I would say that people might remember or not know that this film was made just right after the 6 Days War in Israel. So that's kind of cool hearing that context and hearing how there actually aren't Israeli soldiers who were part of the production. And I think that the fact that the movie was made in Israel during that time, as well as the fact that it is this interesting, like they deliberately choice of uh it's set in the past, but it's like modern day clothes, and it's kind of like your brain is supposed to sort of put those two eras of 33 AD, around 33 AD, and you know also the present day, which for the film was 1970, both together. And when you watch this film, and and I always thought Ted Neely was one of the best Jesuses by far, musical or otherwise, in film. So one of the things that I'll end on this note is that, and just noticing the character interactions of how these actors relate to each other is I just think that that's important in terms of community and in terms of our fan community of how we can, especially now that like back then it was rare for fans to kind of mingle with like that, but now we have that opportunity, whether it be theater, musicals, movies, to interact with the people from shows in that way. And I think there's something there about Community that's important to look at. But I would also just end on this, is that Ted Neely himself, one of the things that I thought was interesting, just if you just kind of my analytical brain going on, is that when they're in a group, it's still not a Ted Neely show. He's very much like, you see him standing to the side when people are having conversation, just laughing with them and enjoying the conversation. And that speaks to me about what, I mean, obviously, I don't know Ted Neely as a person, but the Ted Neely that is presented through all these multiple interviews seems like a really genuinely humble, nice man who didn't let ego go to his head, but really embodied the sense of Jesus in terms of being just a really nice, friendly man who will let other people have the moment to shine when they have a story to shine. Case in point, when the different actors are sharing their stories, or when the director's sharing a story, he's really good at that. Just just really sharing about the team effort that went into this film. Really great documentary. Talk to you again on Biblical Smack Universe.